Welcome back to the Transforming Mind to Transform Real Life, the podcast. You're listening to 5 Minute Fridays with Coach Myrna. And today, what I want to do is to talk to you about, on the topic, I should say, reflections of a 20-year marriage, lessons learned. So, this May is going to be 20 years that I've been married to my third husband. So, I am one of what you would call a married woman. I've been married on and off since my teenage years. So, but in this particular marriage, there's a lot of things that I learned. That's why I stuck around for 20 years. And so, not only am I celebrating, but I want to share with you some of the lessons that I have learned. Um, so, what does 20 years of marriage feel like? I can tell you, it was not a straight line. It was a journey. It was a road with twists and detours and mountains and valleys and moments where I didn't know if I was going to make it to 10 years, much less 20 years. But we did. So today I want to share, the highlight reel. Not the whole story, but the highlight reel. So the first thing I want to talk about is the myth of marriage versus the reality of it. We think about long marriages, we often imagine stability, happiness, and even perfection. Else, why would it last that long? But 20 years doesn't mean it's easy. It means that it was tested. There were highs, of course, beautiful highs, right? And that's actually what keep you stay, what makes you stay. There is moments of laughter, love, connection, building something together, traveling. In the 20 years that I've been married, one of the things that I came into the marriage with this goal that every year we're going to go someplace different. I started that years ago, in my 30s. That's every year I need to see someplace new. Now, a lot of people go in vacation, but they go to the same place. Nope. I need to see something new. So, in the 20 years we've been married, we've gone to 20 different places and vacations. And that is how you recreate. That is how you keep the romance going. That is how you leave the kids at home and you go away as a couple, experience new cultures. So those were definitely the highs, but there were also the lows because two people are never alike. They have, not because you're in a marriage, you're thinking that you're going to think the same way. You don't think the same way. So there was a lot of lows, a lot of silence, distance, misunderstanding, and yes, pain, because you can be in a marriage and be hurt. And I've had my share of it. In moments where staying required more than love, it required a decision, it required a choice. So that's what people don't talk about enough. That love is a feeling, but marriage is about commitment. It is a choice you keep making, even as the feeling fades. Luckily for me and my husband, the feelings didn't fade. So it was very hard to walk away when you're still in love. You walk away when you hate the other person. When you love them, you're always going to find reasons to stay. Now, the Bible teaches that a house built on sand will be washed away when the storm comes. And it is not it is not if the storm comes, it is when the storm comes, because you're going to have storms in your marriage, you're going to have storms in life, right? But if you don't have a foundation of a genuine love, I'm not talking about the puppy love or the love that's only there when things are good. But genuine love, If you don't have it, you will run away at the first storm. You're not even waiting for the hurricanes to come every year. The first time it comes, you're packing your bag and saying, I'm not cut out for this. Right? So, but love makes you come home is one of the lines of the movies. The love that brought you home last night. Yes, love makes you come home. Love keeps you choosing each other. And unconditional love, girls, makes you love them when you even don't like them, right? In the moment. Yes, unconditional love is where I got to after 20 years of marriage. And that to me was the purpose of this marriage because God wanted to teach me what unconditional love for a man looks like. Not my children. I always have that. But the reason I kept walking away is because, yes, no unconditional love. So, all right, so let's get into some more about what 20 years taught me. 20 years has taught me that real love evolves. It is not the same love you start with, it gets deeper and more meaningful. In the beginning, your love is emotional, right? You think about them all day long. You can't wait to be with them. It's exciting, it's full of hope and expectation. But over time, love develops a form of stickiness. I heard this from my pastor. Yeah, you begin to stick together. Stickiness, right? So you develop patience if you didn't have it before. You learn to forgive. You develop resilience. And you become intentional about what you want this marriage to do for you. If you have kids and your kids, and for you, it becomes less about how do you make me feel and more about what are we building here? What is our legacy, right? What is the purpose of the marriage? And a marriage must have a purpose, whether it's family, looking after your family, whether it's building wealth, whether it's security, whatever it is, it has to have a purpose. And you need to know the purpose because that's going to be your why when you feel like walking away, right? So, I've also learned that the person doesn't stay the same. In a 20-year marriage, you change and they change. And the real work is learning how to fall in love with the new version of each other. The good news is, Transformers, I want to tell you, is that the change is usually for the better, right? When you first start a relationship, all the things that bothers you and all the things that your husband does or your wife does to get on your skin, over the years, those become less and less and less because you start becoming chameleons. They start liking the things you like. They start wanting to spend more time with you. They stop wanting to go out with the girls or the boys. Things get better with time. So hang in there. Right? So, what is the power in choosing each other? If I had to sum up 20 years in one sentence, it would be this: we kept choosing each other. He kept choosing me, and I kept choosing him. Not just on the good days, but on the hard days, on the confusing days, on the days when walking away might have felt easier. But we chose to stay. We chose to work on our marriage. We chose to forgive each other. And we choose to keep building, right? So let me be clear. Choosing each other doesn't mean everything is always healthy or perfect. No perfect people, no perfect marriages. Don't let anyone fool you. It just means we were willing to grow because staying without growing, that's not love, that's being stuck. So, if you're listening to this right now and you're in a hard season of your relationship, I was listening to a sermon the other day, and the preacher was saying, some men don't even love their wives, can't stand them, they don't talk to them. And guess what? You're living together because of the kids, maybe because you can't afford to move, whatever it is. So it's a hard season, right? And when you're in those hard seasons, it takes a toll on you, right? You don't even want to go home. You sit in your car, or you find someplace to go because home is hard. So if you're in that kind of season, I want you to hear this. The lows doesn't mean it's over. Sometimes the lows is where transformation happens and it can only go up from there. So think about that. If you're at your lowest, you've hit rock bottom. You can only go up from there. So think about what up looks like for you, right? Pray about it, think about it, believe in it, and it will happen. But in the lows is where you learn how to communicate, right? The man that's not listening, the woman that's not listening, you've got to figure out how to reach them. So you learn to communicate. You learn how to heal from that hurt. Yeah, he did something bad. She did something bad, and you're hurting right now. But if you stay together, you learn to heal. You learn to set boundaries, right? Nobody's walking over you, taking advantage of you. You may be a people pleaser, but you learn to set boundaries. You learn to have self-love and put you first. You learn how to love deeper in a more mature way, not the puppy love that runs away at the first bad thing that happens. You're loving deeper, you're loving more mature, right? And you learn how to pray for your spouse because prayer works, right? You learn to pray for them. But most of all, it requires honesty with yourself and honesty with your partner. It requires effort. And sometimes it requires help. Not every relationship is meant to last 20 years, though, right? But the ones that do, they're not the ones without problems. They're the ones that were willing to face the problems. So, what does 20 years mean to me now? After 20 years, love feels different. It's quieter, but stronger. It's not always loud, but it's steady. It's built on history, it's built on shared memories, on everything that we have overcome together. And there's something deeply powerful about being able to say, I know you, I've seen you, but I'm still here. Right? So today, I'm not just celebrating 20 years of marriage with y'all. I'm celebrating my growth. I'm celebrating resilience. I'm celebrating grace. Yes, because we need grace to do it. And the power of choosing love again and again and again. So if you're in a relationship, I hope this reminds you that love is not just something you feel, it's something you build one choice at a time. So thanks for allowing me to share this important milestone with you. It is true that marriage is not a fairy tale. It requires work. It starts after the big old party and you walking down the aisle in your beautiful dress with your dream wedding. That's when the work starts, right? You've got to live with the person. You've got to continue to choose them every day. You've got to continue to love them. You've got to continue to accept them because acceptance is the most important ingredient. So, if you've enjoyed this episode, share it with someone who needs encouragement in their relationship journey. And as always, Transformers, keep transforming your mind so that you can transform your life. Thanks again for tuning in to this week's episode of 5 Minute Fridays with Coach Myrna. Until next time, namaste.